This podcast, my mission, what we're after is to help you guys become full-time network marketers, like to allow this income to be the income that propels you to invest and to get you where you need to be. And that is out of stress financially. This is not about you guys making millions. Okay. This is about you no longer stressing over money. And in order to do that, for most people, you're going to have to make more money, not just spend less. It's a combination of both. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Freedom Factory. This is the beginning of year 2. Welcome to episode number 53. And here we go, year 2. I told you we're going to be doing some fun things this year, so be looking out for some of those announcements. There's some big things on the horizon. And when I say big things, not for me, big for you. That's the goal, is now taking this model, taking this mission and making it more valuable for you, more tangible for you. We're giving you all of the content here on this podcast, but I know some people have a hard time executing on some of the ideas. And so this year, my goal is to make things a little bit more simple for you to execute. And you'll see those things being presented to you over the next few months. And I'm excited for all of you. So today's topic, guys, is about what you should be paying attention to grow your network marketing business. Remember, I keep repeating this. This podcast, my mission, what we're after is to help you guys become full-time network marketers, like to allow this income to be the income that propels you to invest and to get you where you need to be. And that is out of stress financially. This is not about you guys making millions. Okay. This is about you no longer stressing over money. And in order to do that, for most people, you're going to have to make more money, not just spend less. It's a combination of both. And so many people in network marketing right now are focused on the wrong things, and their volumes going backwards. Their team is not as active. The enrollments are down, volumes down. It's because they are focused on the wrong things. Okay, so I don't even have notes for this one. I just turned the camera on. I've been thinking about this, and I'm going to give you straight from the heart. Okay, first thing on the top of my mind right now is people focused on trips. Now, I know trips are a big part of network marketing. People want to go on trips, especially when it's free. I want you on all the trips. Okay. Going to the trips is a game changer for a lot of people. However, if you are qualifying to get on the trips by focusing 100% on customer acquisition, you're going to be in trouble, especially if you're teaching that to your team. If a company is doing the qualifications right, you are going to qualify for the trip by doing the right behaviors in the first place. What are the right behaviors? Of course, enrolling customers, but also enrolling business partners, also growing your subscription base, growing your leadership base, having duplication happening in your organization. You guys, little story here. The company that I joined was basically a startup. They were 6 months old. I remember the first incentive trip. It was dinner with the CEO. It was kind of funny, right? Like, we were on a tight budget, but I wanted to go, but I didn't qualify. I didn't qualify. And then the next one that really doubled my volume in my organization. So listen to this story, guys. My organization doubled in volume in 1 month. And I think a big part of it was because of this promotion where they were giving away iPads. iPads had just come out, everybody wanted them to put all of their content. Like we had been using compact disc CDs. It's kind of funny, right? It tells you how long I've been in the business. But we were using CDs and would have to, it was hard to go to a lunch appointment and show a video. Well, this new technology, iPads are out, and you could load all of the business building tools and videos on this one little device, and then you could show up and show them and recruit. It was incredible. My team doubled in volume because they went after this iPad. All right. So yes, that was cool, but I didn't qualify for an iPad. I had people on my team qualify for an iPad, but I didn't qualify for an iPad. Yet my volume doubled. Okay. So I can't even remember, shortly after that, the company started doing trips, and then big trips. And the point is this, guys. My wife and I were doing well over $1 million a month in sales before we qualified for our first promotion. And that's the company giving away a vehicle. They gave you the keys. They didn't give you a lease. They gave you the keys to the vehicle. And we qualified for that. We got the free vehicle. And I love sharing that with you guys because so many people are disheartened when they don't qualify for the trip. They ride this roller coaster. They work really, really hard to get on the trip, and then they don't qualify for the trip. And the sad part about all of that is all of the work they were doing was not really the right behaviors. It was all self-centered. I got to go get a bunch of customers so I can get these points. I. Sell. That is wrong. That is wrong. What I want for you guys is I want you at the top of your comp plan so you can buy your own incredible trip. That's what I've been telling people for the longest time. You guys, if you qualify for the trip, yes, know the qualifications, okay? Don't be blind to the qualifications and make a run for it. Make a serious run for the trip. But don't do it by just targeting all of your activity or behaviors at getting the points to get on the trip. Okay, you need to don't let the other significant things like attending events, hosting events, doing the actual presentations online or in person. Some of you are like, what does even an in-person meeting look like? It's hilarious. No, it's not. It's sad. It's sad. You guys, if you're not telling the vision, you're not going to end up with the business you want. That is when people talk about duplication, that's what you're after. You're after a group of people telling the story, telling the vision, not just you telling the story, not just you telling the vision, but a group of people, dozens, hundreds of people telling the story, telling the vision. That's what you want. That will actually get you on the trip versus just you focused on getting customers to get on the trip. You guys, my wife and I still struggle to qualify for some of the trips that come up, but we can afford to buy any trip we want because we are at the top of the comp plan, because we built an organization the way it's supposed to be built on leadership and the right activities. So the first thing I'm telling you today, guys, is with trips and incentives and promotions, don't make that your business. If that is your business, you are missing the boat and you're doing massive damage to your team. That is not the metric that you should be following to push you to success. Okay. The next thing is volume itself. So many people are just so focused on monthly sales that they're not paying attention to what type sales they are. So I've said this over and over and over again. If you don't have a healthy ratio of customer acquisition to business partner acquisition, before long, your sales are going to start to drop. I've talked about this in so many different ways, but let's talk about billboards on the side of a road. Okay, if one company has 100 billboards on side of the road. And let's say it's a 500-mile stretch. All right. So, every so many miles, is that 5 miles? Every so many miles, you're going to see one of their billboards versus another company. Let's call it a fast food restaurant. You got 100 fast food restaurant signs versus one. Who do you think is going to get the attention and get the business? Because honestly, that long of a stretch is only one store. Like you may not be hungry yet. You may want to get further down the road. But if someone that's got all these signs and all these stores, who's going to sell the most amount of food? The people with the billboards. Now, yes, the owner of the restaurant has to make the food and present the food and sell the food. But the real business, guys, is the leverage of the sales, the billboards. That's what is missing in your organization. If you're not growing, you don't have enough billboards, and customers are not billboards. Consultants are, business partners are. That's where you get your leverage. Okay. You're going to have more volume when you get more people telling the story, when you get more people sharing the vision. If you're focused on customer acquisition, sooner or later, you're the only billboard. You're the only one telling the story and the vision. And it's just too much. It's too much for one person to be able to feed this whole organization. So stop focusing mainly on your overall volume. There are other metrics, okay? So one of those metrics I touched on just a second ago is how many business partners are joining your organization versus customers. And yes, the bigger your organization, as your organization gets bigger, it's going to be harder and harder for you to keep. And it's an 80-20 split is what it is. 80% customers, 20% consultants. As your organization gets bigger, it's going to be hard to keep that split because newer people coming in are having more product conversations, and it's just harder for you to maintain that. However, if you're wanting to grow, get an organization that understands this, believes in it, buys into it, and they are focused on this 80-20 split. Maybe your organization is not, but find the organizations, find the leaders within your organization that have this 80-20 split, 20% business partner, 80% customer, and reward them, edify them, congratulate them, do everything you can to celebrate that. Like, to me, someone that's got an 80-20 split and they do that month after month, that person is much more valuable to my organization than a person that qualified to go on a trip. I want this to land so clearly for you guys. So many people are focused on celebrating and recognizing the people going on trips, and they're not even paying attention to the people who are building it right. 80-20 splits, guys. It's a game changer. It changes everything. If you guys can get that down and understand that, your team will be on fire. Now, in the beginning, the splits are a little different. You may be 50-50, but I'm talking about an organization, it's a year old, 2 years old, 3 years old. That's where you really want to be focused. And if your organization's grown to over 200,000, 300,000 in sales a month, then it's a little bit more difficult because I've already explained why. But now look inside your organization and try and help those leaders, those people that are in that $20,000 to $50,000 range, people that quite haven't hit 1,000 points yet. Those are the people that you should be really focused on helping get to the 80-20, because if you do that, you're going to get the results you're looking for. Okay. Another one that we talk about quite a bit, but I don't think people are hearing it, is subscriptions. Now, I know not in every country it's a subscription-based model. In some countries, it's just retail. But for the most of you, most of my listeners, most of the people watching this, hearing this, you guys are in the United States. And in the United States, the subscription model is like life. Having that subscription running is why you join network marketing. It is what you call leveraged income, residual income, mailbox money, call it whatever you want to call it. It's money coming in before the first sale happens, like money in the bank. That 15th hits or whenever you get paid. And that is based so much on subscriptions. So while some people are focused on going on trips or who got the most volume this month, another one you should be paying attention to is subscription volume. And more importantly, in your team again, reward the teammates in your team who have subscription volume growing. Like it's, you guys, if you've got someone that gets 100 new customers for the month, that's amazing. Celebrate them. But for someone that has a subscription that's growing at 5 or 10% a month, that is so much of a bigger deal that you should be screaming and celebrating that from the mountaintops. Like that is a much more important metric for you to pay attention to than who has the most enrollments for the month. Because I'm telling you guys, that's a burnout model. Whoever's selling the most products, whoever has the most volume in new sales. Yeah, that's important. But that is not a leveraged model. That's a burnout model. That is you're gonna burn out. It's going to happen. Okay. What I am teaching you, what I am telling you is the opposite of burnout. It is what has allowed me almost 16 years of massively ridiculous consistency in my organization because I don't get bent out of shape and get distracted by the wrong rabbit. I chase the right rabbit. That's what this podcast is about, guys. Chasing the right rabbit, right? And so I don't know what the title of this podcast is going to be, but maybe that should be it. Chase the right rabbit. And so know this going into this next month. Know what metrics you should be paying attention to. Another one we didn't talk about is live events, getting to live events. You guys, you can build your business based on those couple of things that I just told you. Having a good 80-20 split, having subscriptions that are growing, and having people that are attending live events. If those things are growing month over month, you are going to find yourself making more money at higher ranks and qualifying for these trips. And if you don't qualify for them, it's okay because you're headed for the top of the compensation plan. Another metric I've touched on a little bit is live events, whether on Zoom or in person, presenting, telling the story. You guys, if I find someone in my organization that's telling the story, showing the vision, creating that real life connection with people, that is way more important than someone that is the top seller for the month to me. Because that's where you get your leverage, guys. That's how you get your leverage is by other people telling the vision. I mean, people make fun all the time of this. Oh yeah, you go get 5 and then they get 5 and then you make fun of it. But if just pick a number, whatever number is not funny to you. If it's 3, if it's 2, if it's 5, if it's 10, and just multiply it by the same number. Okay. What's 2 people who get 2 people who get 2 people who get 2 people? Before long, it's a business that you want. What about 5, right? Go get 5 people that see the vision and then teach those 5 people to tell the story, tell the vision. And now you've got 25, not just you telling the story and the vision. You went out and got 5 and you showed those 5 how to do it. Now you got 25 people and yourself telling the story, showing the vision. Guys, that's the metric. Find people that have that going on in their organization and reward that. Because that to me is way more important than volume and trips and that kind of stuff. You guys know what rabbit to chase, know what metrics are important. I sat in a field advisory board meeting not that long ago, and there was a comment in there that sales had blown up, really, really huge sales. And then, of course, after you have a product launch, huge sales, that's not sustainable. And so my comment was, stop looking at volume as you've arrived. Just because you hit volume, a big volume number in a month and things look easy and they're clicking for a month or two, you have not arrived. Here's when you've arrived in network marketing. Okay. As a leader, here's what all of you should really be understanding. Based on whatever your compensation plans is, whether it's binary or unilevel, whatever the leg requirement is. Okay. If it's 2 legs, 3 legs, 5 legs, whatever the leg requirement is. Okay. You've arrived when you've got people, leaders in each one of those legs earning $20,000 or more. Here's why. When you've finally got a leader that's earning 20 grand a month, they're doing the things that I told you in here. They're doing the activities I've told you about in this podcast. And 20 grand is enough money per month that when things aren't going so good anymore, because it's going to always be up and down, they're going to fight. They're going to fight for their business. They're going to fight to get it back on track, and not just you having to fight. But until you get that, like if you got a comp plan that requires 3 legs to get to the top of the comp plan, until you have one person in 3 different legs earning 20 grand a month or more, you have not arrived yet. You cannot think that your business is built. But at that point, I'm telling you, that's the starting point. That's the jumping point for you being able to have what this podcast is all about. Freedom. Freedom from the anxiety of day-to-day bills. Freedom from the anxiety of, is the check going to come in tomorrow? The money worries, guys, the money worries start to really drop off when you've got leaders and enough legs making 20 grand a month that they can get to the top. Let that sink in. You are not going to get that by chasing trips, chasing volume, chasing enrollments. You've got to know the other metrics. Chase the balance of enrollment ratio metric. Chase the subscription metric. Chase the people doing presentation metric. Chase the people attending events metric. Chase those numbers. Know that. And you're going to soon find yourself with that organization that you're looking for. So I love this podcast. I love where we're heading right out of the gates. Podcast number 1 of year 2. So number 53. You guys go back and listen to this one a few times, because this one is going to help you guys not burn out. The burnout happens when you're doing all the work and you're chasing the wrong rabbit. Okay. Chase the right rabbit and you won't burn out anymore. You guys have a great week. We'll talk to you guys next week. See ya.